maybe income tax they are not paying because they'll adjust their books. But GST collection is there. You can see how much the GST collection has happened, and they can exit abruptly during geopolitical conflicts. You see around us what's happening. We were threatened and threatened and threatened by Trump, sir. And the commercial aspect, the MDR or the transaction charges which are charged, the profits, they are repatriated to their countries.
Namaskar, Bharat Mata ki Jai. As we prepare for Viksit Bharat 2047, a question often comes into our mind that can we build a payment ecosystem that is technologically robust, globally competitive, yet rooted in national interest? For that, today we speak to a dynamic leader who did not choose the easy path of aligning with the existing giants, but instead chose to build, to challenge, to create. From resisting FDI in retail to launching a Swadeshi digital payment vision, his journey reflects conviction, controversy, and commitment. So, friends, this is not just a conversation about fintech. This is a conversation about the future architect of Bharat's economic independence. For that, we would like to welcome our dear friend, a very dynamic entrepreneur, Shri Satish Chavan ji, to Swadeshi podcast. Sir, welcome to Swadeshi podcast. So, sir, thank you so much for taking out the time and being a part of
Namaskar, namaskar.
podcast of Swadeshi Media today. So, sir, truly excited with your presence, and I'd like to ask, you have spent more than three decades for the welfares of traders, part of the traders body, and so what initially triggered you to be a part of the the Andolan against the FDI in retail?
Yeah. Namaskar, Jatin ji. Thank you for having me on the podcast here. My privilege. The short background of my family. I mean, my father was a social worker. He came in 1965 to Chennai. We are from Maharashtra, settled in Chennai. So from those days, he was also representing traders issues. He was working with the various trade organizations and very active with whatever issues the traders face, be it with the departments, the government departments. And he expired suddenly when I was quite young, 30. So after his demise, I took his place. So people looked up to me to follow my father's footsteps. And since I was already trained in all the issues and how to address them with the concerned authorities, I just carried on the legacy which my father has left behind. And same the Federation of Madras Merchant Manufacturer Association. Today it's called the Federation of Tamil Nadu Merchant Manufacturer Association. So I'm a vice president. So past 3 decades I've been holding various positions there. We have about in Chennai we have about 45 trade associations, right from jewelry to ball bearing. Everybody is connected to us, the major distributors. We have been very active in filing PILs in traders issues. Many people would forget the fringe benefit tax, which was implemented long back when Chidambaram sir was the finance minister. So we were the ones who filed a suit in Chennai High Court, and we got an orders favoring that, and the fringe benefit tax was not implemented. Likewise, sir, many other issues. And during my journey as a federation, we are affiliated to Bharatiya Udyog Vyapar Mandal. And, they are, I mean, Kanpur ke jo, late Shyam Bihari Mishra ji, very dynamic person, very dynamic leader. And I was fortunate to associate with him, to work with him. And he has so much good ideas. His whole life is spent for traders issues. Three-time MP, Lok Sabha from Kanpur, but always grounded and always available for traders issues. So he founded the Bharatiya Udyog Vyapar Mandal, and where we have all over India, we have got branches, affiliations. So being affiliated to BUBM from Chennai, I was quite frequently visiting there, and then when the issue came up, Swadeshi Jagran Manch, our then an organization which fights for all trade issues, fights with the government. So BUBM associated with Swadesh Jagran Manch. BUBM was the first trade body to support the issue of FDI and retail. And we had all over India, we had a band. I mean, for people who remember those days, 3 days the parliament was not functioning, it was adjourned, and 11 days band. And even today, that those particular FDI rules are not implemented. So it's a victory to traders. Traders unity was shown that day, and from that day, people realized what was Swadeshi Dragon Bunch and what was our BUVM. So that's it, and that passion for society, it is like in my DNA. So we work at any time. People are coming to us for help, be it even a traffic accident where somebody needs to help in the government hospital for a postmortem, or be it any GST issue. We have got solutions for everything. We have got people around to help us and show us the way. That's how it is.
Okay, sir. Very nice. So, sir, you have had the opportunity of working with late Shri Shyam Bihari Mishra ji, sir. So,
Yes.
how did working with that legend, refined or led you to the progress towards economic nationalism, inspired you?
Yeah, exactly. You said the right word for him. He is a legend. I mean, nobody can replace late Shyam Mishra ji. He, doyen of traders issues. And I'm fortunate to also work with his son. His son, Mr. Mukund Mishra ji, is right now the General Secretary of the BOBM. Like me, even he is carrying on his father's legacy. So we both are actively participating in our BOBM as well as with Swadesh Jagran Manch. And there was an anecdote referred by our Kashmir Alji in a meeting which I would like to denote here. So those days when Atalji was the Prime Minister and this FDI issue was going on, so Shyam Bihari Mishra ji was asked by the Honorable Prime Minister then, what will you do if the government imposes this FDI? Will you support the government or will you support the traders? Him being a Lok Sabha member, he was expected to support the government. But Shyam Bihari Mishra ji said, no, I will support my traders. I'll go on a bandh, I'll protest. So he was that clear in his ideology that traders' interest has to be maintained first, and then the government's interest. The government comes second for him. So that's how. That really is a big thing for anybody to say to the honorable prime minister. Then that's how it is.
Nice. So, sir, so what does the word Swadeshi means to you, especially in this digital era of fintech,
See,
startups?
yeah. So Swadeshi, many people. What I've seen is today's youth. When you say Swadeshi, they kind of go back to it's quite antidated. It's a very old term, but they fail to understand that Swadeshi means self-reliability, Atmanirbharta. Your own. India is such a vast country. We have so many resources where at times I say we don't need anybody to protect us. We don't need anybody's support to survive, to progress, to become the Vishwa Guru, as our Prime Minister says. And 2047, we will definitely be Vishwa Guru, Viksit Bharat with the vision. And Swadeshi was the only thing which is going to make us progress that way. So, and right from agriculture to industry to technology, everything has to come from Swadeshi, from our own boys. Like whenever you see all over the world, be it USA, be it Europe, it's always an Indian who's a CEO there. So he's an Indian. So these boys are given opportunity to work back in India. Definitely, I think we can have a reverse brain drain, and your digital fintech, all these high tech. Now today people are talking about AI. They say AI will come and they'll take away jobs and all that. No, but basic things AI cannot touch. What you and I are doing, AI cannot do. So only certain places AI will improve our lifestyle. We'll have to use it and see how to control it. That's how our leaders say. That's how we should take it. So Swadeshi is not a small word. It means a lot, right from agriculture to our industry daily life. That's it.
Right, sir. So, in very short words, you have given such a vast dimension of Swadeshi. I think it will be very useful for the audience. So,
Yes, Bilkul.
this curiosity brings me to the next question of the podcast, which is this. Like we said, that UPI is a project of Bharat. Most of the platforms are foreign owned. But
Yeah.
do you see this as some kind of a digital colonization?
Yeah, it is a kind of digital colonization. UPI I always, even I keep saying that UPI is totally Indian, but being dominated by a foreign company. So what exactly is UPI doing? I mean, even today the government wants to control the what do you say uh, transactions on that to 30%. They want to limit to a particular brand, but they're not able to do that. That date keeps extending. I think right now it is December 26th that they have said that they have to limit the transaction per company to 30%. But they're not able to do that because there are only a couple of brands in the market, the UPI market, which are totally foreign control, and we are at their mercy actually. I would easily say it's colonization. So we'll have to see ways about it and how to break that jinx within the framework of it and do it and go forward.
Hmm. So, sir, you have such a rich amount of experience working for the welfares of traders. So you could have worked with some existing platform also. But then what triggered the need for you to launch your own Swadeshi Pay?
So they should pay I mean idea. It's like a message intuition from the universe. I actually spoke to a few of these big time people. I mean, they don't want to develop any new brand to come in the market. Neither they want to work with traders associations. All of them are actually depending on and earning profits from these trade associations only. See, P2P, which is in the small transactions, they don't make much money there. But wherever the merchants are involved, that is where the transaction happens, and that's where these companies are profiting for that. But they don't actually do anything back to society. What are they going back to society? Nothing. They only make the profits, and their what do you say? Balance sheets are rich, cash rich. And what happens to us? We don't really benefit from their operations. So then the Swadeshi Pay happened. I mean, that struck me, and fortunately, I mean, I could find that there's an opportunity to register the trademark. We went ahead with that, and here, I mean, here again, I would like to place on record my thanks to Sri Ashwini Mahajanji, who was the national co-convener of the Satish H Chavan bunch, my guru, my mentor, my guide. I mean, he's a person who's a walking encyclopedia, and
Good,
anything
sir.
Swadeshi, he always supports. He always supports. And when I told him, sir, that this is what I have in mind, I wish to promote this brand, and I wish to make, I mean, gift it to the country. I mean, this is for the country, and it's not any individual profit making company. Of course, commercialization will be there, but we will give back to society, we'll give back to traders, we will do a lot of hand holding of the traders because they need to be trained in digital for exports, e-commerce, your handloom handicraft. So much work to be done. So we will definitely there'll be a commercial angle to that. Yes, we will profit, but we will also give back to society. We want to have a nation strong, right from the grassroots. The financial inclusion is for the current people, UPI or whatever. It's only in the tier one and tier two cities. The tier three, tier four, they are not. Touched by the digital thing. There are almost 30% of our Indian population is without a smartphone. It's only a touch phone. Your agriculture, your working class. So we would like to reach them. Then the brand Swadeshi Pay will definitely have a traction with people. Many people wish to shift from the existing platforms, but they don't have an option. So the day they get an option, 100% they will work with us, and we will work together with the masses, with the country.
Hmm. Okay, sir. So my next question is somewhat related to the present question. What are the risks if Bharat's payment data and digital commerce rails continue to be dominated by the foreign brands?
Yeah, this is actually a very important question. I mean, people tend to forget what happens, when digital for them because it's invisible. I mean, you can't really see anything transferring. There's no change of transfer of goods, physical goods. They just click the button, pay. Okay, they think that they are it's a part of it for them. They don't see the implications. Basically, it's data sovereignty risk. The transaction data is stored, processed outside India. I think government of India is in a good step that the data centers have to be made in India, and all the foreign companies who are working in India have to store the data here. That is a good development, and we look forward to that. And consumer behavior, that's a major thing. The consumer behavior, based on that, they control our right from our emotions to our likes and dislikes. So like you and I don't decide things; they decide things for us. That's the major thing. And see, basically strategic, economic, and geopolitical. These are risks involved with these foreign companies controlling this digital market. So when you say risk is economic intelligence, they know what you and I are doing. They know what you and I are purchasing, where we are. So there's totally, I mean, there's no privacy at that at all. And real-time intelligence, they know of nation, where we stand. Next is, I would say, regulatory and policy vulnerability. So if the core rails are controlled by the foreign brands, they can influence policy direction. They can resist regulatory tightening, and they can exit abruptly during geopolitical conflicts. Now, you see around us what's happening. We were threatened and threatened and threatened by Trump, sir. And what happened finally? But still, our honorable Prime Minister, he was strong enough. He had his vision that India will not bend. India will not yield to the pressures of America. Yes, we finally won the war. We don't need them. That's what I always say. That's my individual perception. Okay, I mean, not I'm not saying it, but I always tell my people that India doesn't need anybody. We are self-sufficient. We are what do you say? We are a producing country. We're a consuming country. And like global sanctions जब होते हैं, so these foreign brands can have a say in that. Trade disputes, compliance with Indian regulators. Then policy dependency हो जाती है on the foreign companies. And the commercial aspect, the MDR or the transaction charges which are charged, the profits, they are repatriated to their countries. And Indian merchants become data suppliers. They don't become value creators. So that is a major thing. Long-term effect, what happens is our domestic fintech companies, they become weak. So they don't invest in innovation, and the valuation shifts abroad. And instead of what do you say, compounding wealth domestically, India becomes a transaction colony. We're just a mode of making money for these companies. They don't really give back to our country. Then your innovation dependency. That's another big issue. Indian startups have to build only on these foreign companies. Core infrastructure remains foreign. So again, pricing, they dictate the pricing. So outcome, I mean, geopolitical weaponization risk. Geopolitical weaponization risk is a major thing where they can be used in sanctions, financial isolation strategies, cross-border restrictions. They can throttle access, import restrictions, disable services. So it's an economic warfare. It can be misused there. So we have to be wary of these people. Then your MSMEs, they'll have another problem where Bharat's traders and MSMEs are dependent on foreign gateway policy pricing. All these companies will have their own pricing. The algorithm is controlled by them. They know what the Indian merchants want, what is sold there, what is purchased there. So that's another major thing. So these are the broad things we can talk, long time on this policy. But I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on that. But this is what, as a layman, I mean, I would like to put my points forward. And we have got intellectuals like Ashwini sir who can definitely take up these issues with the concerned departments and put it at the right forum.
Right, so sir, very very well put out. I think it should be very beneficial for the audience to understand the current trend.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
sir, this brings me to the next curiosity, the next question. So, what is the
Yeah.
core differentiator of Swadeshi Pay if we compare it to the existing UPI apps?
See, when you say core differentiator, see, SwadeshiPay, we are going to begin with online, payment platform, which will be scaled up to, let's say, a neobank on which we can give UPI. Now, TPAP, when you say UPI apps, they're basically all TPAPs, third-party application providers. That takes a time to get the license for that. So, a neobank is better, on which we can have integration plugin. And we are not targeting only Tier 1 to cities. We want to bring in the last mile, last person of citizen of Bharat into financial inclusion. Without Jan Dhan project, almost everybody has got a bank account, and all the DBT, direct benefits transfer. There's money in the accounts, but these citizens are not able to use it. So it's only there, and if they also can come into the digital framework, definitely it can be beneficial to them. We are targeting that because other than UPI, there is another thing which NPCI has, which is called Aadhaar-enabled payment system, which will enable the rural areas, the tribal areas also, to access your banking facilities through Aadhaar, identification. So Government of India has got the schemes, but these foreign companies, they don't bother about that. They only want to make money on tier 1, tier 2 cities, get the cream and walk away. No giving back to our nation. That's why we are now gearing up to give them a fight. Okay, it may be a fight, but like a David and Goliath. But since I'm guided by one of the best brains in the country, in the world, Shashwini, I mean, I'm not afraid, and we will definitely win this war with under his guidance.
Sir, like just to add to your point, in Mahabharata Yuddha, Kauravas choose the Narayan army, whereas Arjuna chose the Narayan himself, and Arjuna won. So I think
Yeah,
the
exactly,
dharma
exactly.
is in
Yeah.
your side, sir. Dharma is on your
And
side.
thank you so much. I mean, see, I have been thinking how to give back to my nation. Okay, I mean, when I was small, I wanted to go to the army, serve the nation in uniform, but being only son, as usual in all houses, only son, my mother didn't allow me. Then these social activities. Fine. Today I'm at a stage where I can devote my time fully for the nation, and yes, I'm going at it, and that's what my asset is my guide. His what do you say? His blessings push me through, and I don't fear. I don't look behind. I just keep going ahead.
Hmm. Okay, sir. Sir, few of the questions have come from the audience also. I'd like to take few questions. One is, Swadeshi Pay plans to approach NPCI for its own TPAP license. So what
Yeah.
challenges do you foresee in this journey?
NPCI is a very good concept that see in the past, whenever I've met them, I've already met them a couple of times. But like we say, for startups, there is not much of a what do you say encouragement from them. They want us to have so much of what do you say network. They need us to show them hundreds of crores of rupees where we can burn what PhonePe, sorry, I don't want to mention any names. What the other companies are doing, they burn the cash and they acquire the clients. But that should not be the thing which our NPCI must do. I mean, if they see a good promoter with a good vision, a good idea, and at least an LOI could have been given, and I would have fulfilled the LOI's conditions, and then we would have processed, because that's an 8-month procedure for the TPAP. So that has been delayed. And now, as on date, I'm in a position where I've got the right tech partners, the right, what do you say, a consortium of good companies, net worth companies. So I can now go back to NPCI and say, yeah, well, look, you wanted this, I have this. Now you process my application for TPAP, and kindly make it as soon as possible, because 8 months is too long. I don't know why they take 8 months for a particular process. So I mean, the government has to look into it. Only then new entrants will be encouraged, and they can participate in the what is in the sector. So sometimes I feel there's some conflict of interest, and things are going slow on purpose or what. I mean, that's my perception, because I've been hitting my head there. So I hope now I will be able to, I believe, able to process my papers when I submit my TPAP application to them.
Sir, I would like reading about your vision statement also, that you plan to eventually build an independent IT infrastructure and even launch a new bank. So, like, what is the
Yeah,
long-term
yeah.
vision? A payments company or a full stack financial ecosystem?
Nee, full stack financial payment ecosystem. See, I'll tell you, we have to be present everywhere. Even if one door you leave open, somebody's going to come in there. So that's why I said we are going to phase wise. We're going to expand our activities. Today we are riding on the technology with our partners with a consortium, and slowly we'll go into what do you say your neobank. Neobank seems to be a very possible and very early launch, because we need a backing of a existing bank, and a tie-up there gives us the opening to have a digital bank connected to them, where we can now also have the UPI what do you say plugin for non-account holders. Actually, when you say neobank, the particular bank insists on the customer opening an account with them. Only then the app can be used. But there are facilities like SBI has got this system. Similarly, we would like to follow that. And Swadeshi Pay will be again what do you say? It will be close to the heart of the nation. Almost everybody is like a nationalist. There might be different political parties. I'm not going to politics here, but everybody loves the nation and everybody knows what is happening. They want an option. They want an option to use their UPI transactions. So if we can provide them with a platform, even through a new bank before the TPAP, we'll do that. So that's the target. The complete tech stack has to be developed, and we have to develop it Swadeshi, like our boys, our Indian boys. And there are good boys. I always tell when I see youth around me who are struggling or who learning somewhere, I say you are competent. Don't undermine yourself. You are good. You can do. So don't think that foreign company is the best. Even when you say the top four consult companies, I know many of the boys who are directors in those companies. They say, why do you work for a foreign company? You form your own company. So there are options. I mean, our boys are very good. I have belief in our Indians, our students, the youth. They are capable. If they want to do it, they will do it. They will achieve it. So that's it.
Right, sir. So, sir, in your view, how can the government and the institutions truly support indigenous fintech players, without compromising the competition?
Yeah, correct. That's again another good question that you're asking, Jatin Bhai. The goal should not be protectionism. I mean, we're not saying protect only Indians, don't allow the foreigners. We should have a fair competition. Like you own the rails, keep the market open. Here, I would like to mention ONDC. ONDC, since I was also a member with the National Traders Welfare Board for 2 years, and I didn't renew my tenure because I wanted to full time focus on this SwadeshiPay project and work for the nation. I didn't want to divert anywhere here and there. So then what happens there? I was working closely with ONDC because again, digital empowerment of traders was another passionate subject for me. The traders are again fighting foreign companies, platforms on the e-commerce sector. So that's where it all began, and we found that our traders are not equipped to go online. They're not properly trained. ONDC is a good concept again, but again there was the conflict of interest there, and ONDC has got different issues, and their interoperability. What we say is interoperability, so anybody can buy from any platform, but certain mainland platforms in India, which are foreign controlled, they don't abide by ONDC. They don't integrate themselves with ONDC. So it's actually failing. I mean, I always say, why can't the government of India just pass a law or pass an order that every e-commerce company has to integrate with ONDC? And who doesn't integrate can leave. It can happen. Your government of India, if Modi ji can, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji can stare Trump in his eyes, these are all small things for him. I mean, the government should take it up. And it's not a small thing. Traders are about 10 crore traders, and I would say 10 crores. I mean, at the backbone of the country.
Mhm.
So they have to be protected in this manner. I mean, you keep it open. Don't say that only Indians, but have a fair level playing field. That's the main thing. So that there's no monopoly. Today, if you see on e-commerce, there's a monopoly. See on digital payments, there's a monopoly. I mean, without sensing it, without even knowing it, we are now slaves to these monopolies. When I talk to my people, I mean, senior people, intellectuals, I say, why can't the government ban these e-commerce companies? They say government will ban, but the citizens will start shouting, okay, why they ban? And we are like, that's why I said we are slaves to this e-commerce companies and digital payment companies where we can't come out of it unless there's an option. ONDC was a good option. Well, we have to really take it up. That also is part of our, part of agenda of SwadeshiPay, where we would like to support ONDC in a way where we traders are digitally empowered, trained for e-commerce, along with their payments, etc. See, it's what do you say, having a synergy. So we'll be working with the ONDC. So that's it. And second end of the mandates. Your procurement. Now one other major thing. Government can support indigenous fintech, through they should give some preferential scoring when public tenders, not automatic, gem marketplace. if there's an Indian ownership in the company, in the fintech company, majority, they should promote it. If a startup fintech, give them pilot opportunities with PSU banks. What happens is, since I was working with the National Traders Welfare Board, I also happen to interact closely with the Finance Ministry, Department of Financial Services. Uh, Mr. Manoj Ayyappan is a very good friend, his joint secretary, a gentleman. He will patiently listen to all the issues and he tried to do his best to help out. But what happens, PSU banks have got their own way of operations, RFP, RFQ, and then the L1. See, when you go for quality and again you want L1, it doesn't really work. So there has to be some kind of system where you balance and you get the best to work for the nation. So, I mean, maybe it's public news, but yesterday somebody was telling me that Yes Bank's Forex card was hacked because he had a Forex card, my friend, and he was getting messages for debiting via hacker. So when we talk private bank, private bank, Yes Bank should have the best of the technologies, but even that is so we have to be very careful with whom we are dealing and with whom we are sharing the data. That's one thing. There are many other things which can be done. I mean, as we progress, I think we can have a separate session just for what the government can do for the fintech sector, for the traders, for digital payment section, and the ONDC. These are reflect a major. One thing here I would like to say, Jatin, trader, he's not only a trader, he's a economic warrior. He contributes to the nation. He collects taxes. He pays to the government. He doesn't get any loans. He's not a farmer. He's not a destitute. There's no freebies for him, no loan waivers for him. So his own money, he pledges his jewelry, he pledges his properties, he raises funds with the bank, and then he gives the product on credit. He pays his GST on time, even if his money is not recovered from the particular person. So they have to be respected. I mean, that's why I'm getting into this line. I mean, I want my traders to be respected, and we should have there are some black sheep. Okay, GST aviation happens. You can't say that 100% has to be foolproof, but they have to be respected. They are contributing for income tax, for GST, all the taxes. In fact, the nation runs on that. Maybe income tax they are not paying because they'll adjust their books, but GST collection is there. You can see how much the GST collection has happened. So I mean, the traders need to be looked at. I mean, all their issues are actually not taken up on a priority note. Okay, the Honorable Prime Minister, he formed the National Traders Welfare Board. We have a dynamic chairman there, Sunil Singhi. I had the privilege of working under him. Even there, I learned a lot. Even he's trying his best to get traders issues addressed by the GST department, and the retail policy. But you know how the wheels churn in the corridor. The bureaucratic movement is very slow for anything. It takes time. I mean, it's almost 2 years since some policies are being drafted and framed. We are last on the priority list, bottom of the pyramid. Any industry, any MNC comes in, then it's taken up on a fasting. So we'll have to show our strength first, show that we are together, and the government will listen. Yes, government is listening, but things have to happen fast. The same speed.
Okay, sir. Right, sir. Sir, this brings me to the last part of the podcast, wherein I like to understand your vision, a vision for 5 years for Swadeshi Pay.
SwadeshiPay in 5 years' time. In 5 years' time, SwadeshiPay will be in. That's what I mean. Uh, God willing, it will be in every household of Bharat. SwadeshiPay will be in every household of Bharat. I mean, in different ways. I mean, digital platform, le lo, yeah, e-commerce. We will and we can do it, and we'll have a full tech stack. And the sky is the limit. India is a big country, and we have a very supportive government. And I have the best guru anybody can have, Ashwini Mahajanji. So under his guidance, we will all succeed. We all as a team, and it will be SwadeshiPay will be there. What do you say? We'll create history together.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good. So, sir, it has been great interacting with you today, and I'm sure after listening to the podcast, the curiosity of the audience will again pick up, and they will again like to have your time. So in the future,
Yes, yes.
we'll like to approach you again, request your time again for the further, untouched areas, or in areas
Untouched areas,
in
exactly,
which we
exactly.
can talk more. So sir,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you so much. Thank you so much for your time, sir, and hope to see you again, meet you again. So okay,
Yes, yes,
so
definitely. We're always here, and definitely you have to focus on this particular sector, digital payments, fintech. It's a very
yeah,
critical sector, and we can give much more inputs to the government as well as to the public.
sure, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you very
So
much.
namaskar, Bharat Mata ki jai.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.
Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.